Hello, my darlings. My name is Victoria, and this is Veritas Tarot Scorpio. I'm going to do your big read for you leading into Scorpio season on Saturday. I've been very much looking forward to doing this reading, and I've just been waiting for the right time to feel that now is the time to do the reading. And it is today, right now, in this present gifted moment, my darlings. Thank you, first of all, so much to all of you for all of your incredible support, your love, your care, your comments. I am so, so, so grateful. For those of you who have come to me for the first time or are following me and feel the urge to view this reading, it is simply because if this reading resonates with you, my messages are here for you today to help you relief that sort of self-imposed society-induced fears that we tend to put on our soul, and to allow you to see that what I'm saying to you, you simply already know. You've just forgotten it. This is allowing you to remember it. So my darlings, let's move ahead with the reading. I thought for a change, I'm going to start with my spirit animal deck to see what was going to come out for you. Thank you. If the reading resonates, it simply means that it was for you at this time. If it doesn't resonate, it simply means that it wasn't for you at this time. There'll always be a reading out there for you at exactly the right time as guided by spirit. This is for those that most need to hear this message today or whenever they choose to look at this reading. Thank you, Spirit. Beautiful. You know, Scorpio season is about releasing and letting go and being fearless, and about embracing that creative expression within you. And so the first card you've had come out is the Badger, followed by the Koala as well. And underneath, you've got the Vulture Spirit. So this is very interesting. Number 4, the Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold. My darling, fears, those self-induced or society-placed fears within you, are things that are not real. They are things that you tell yourself. Fear is an ego-based response to something, an ego-based reaction to something, and it generally comes from a story that you've told yourself over and over again. It can also be a generational thing, things that you've had conditioned within you from your parents and their parents and their parents and their parents, going back and back and back, that is simply repetitive. And you have this moment now, through having a different observation of it, to release it. Be fearless and bold. Whatever it is that you are wishing to do at this time, be fearless about it and be bold about it. Look at that intentness with the Badger there. And the Daisy talks about the nurturing instincts that it's going to give you for your soul. I was given an expression by my higher self a couple of days ago, and it is this: your creative expression is an individual representation of your soul's physical experience at this time. What do I mean by that? Your creative expression, anything that inspires you, makes you excited, makes you fearless, makes you bold, makes you imaginative, gives you a beautiful feeling, whatever it is, that is your soul, a representation, an individual representation of your soul, representing who it is right now in the present moment of its physical experience, of being part of all that is I am, the Omni, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. So be fearless and bold with whatever has drawn you to this reading today, and whatever guidance that you're looking at for your particular individual representation, individual goal at this time. Koala Spirit. Spirit has a plan. Spirit has a plan. So be fearless and bold, because your soul has that plan. Your soul is a representation of spirit. Your soul is divine source energy. So whatever you have that urge to do, do it, my darling, because spirit has a plan. This is all for your evolution. Is this all for your greatest joy? This is all for you to be the next greatest, grandest version of who you are. This is your soul's intent on its journey. And it may not make sense at this time, but we are always given the answers at exactly the right time that we need them. And also, spirit, God, universe is your friend. It's not there to trip you up. And it does like a surprise and delight, though. So spirit has a plan at this time. And at the bottom of the deck, you've got Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. Every experience that you have been on, every person, place, event, relationship has all been to bring you where you are today, here, now, in the present moment. It is all with an intent. It is all with a purpose for your soul's evolution. And in the acceptance of that, you released those self-imposed fears. You release the conditions that you put on yourself. Everything has a plan. Everything has a reason for it. And when we accept that in the moment and accept that our soul understands in this moment why we are where we are releasing any resistance and therefore allowing the universe, God, the omniverse, to bring in what it is that we are wanting to be fearless and bold about. So that's a beautiful card. And you've got at the bottom, koi fish spirit. There is always enough. There is always enough. There is so much within you and around you. There is always enough, my darling. Don't ever feel the lack of. It's always on its way to you. It's always on its way to you. You know, fishes have not a very limited memory. So sometimes we have a tendency to repeat things over and over again through fear of there not being enough, through fear of a lack of. There is always enough. It is simply the energy that you attach to it. So let's move ahead with the reading. Let me just leave those out there for you. 6 and 3, 63 is 9. 9 is wish fulfillment for the vulture spirit. But the vulture spirit is also don't pick over things too much. Stand back and observe why things have happened for you. Receive with gratitude the understandings that you take from those moments, those experiences, those relationships, and then let them go. Leave it. This is not the story of who you are anymore. This is a time for renewal for you. 3 and 5 is 8, and 8 is that beautiful infinity symbol, but it's also about the movement forward for you at this time and having trust and faith and spirit in your soul. Trust your instinct, trust your soul. And I know a lot of you ask me, how do I trust that? How do I know? Whatever it is that makes you want to have that creative expression. We were created to create. Whatever it is that makes you secretly smile or gives you that little feeling of, oh my goodness, that's amazing, or wants you to write or wants you to think about things and imagine things and experience, that is your creative expression of the individual representation of your soul's physical experience. That is you in the present moment saying, I am that I am. I am the divine experiencing through me. And then you release those society-induced fears. You release those things that you've told yourself, the story that you've told yourself. And in that moment, you open yourself up to receiving everything that is intended for you, because everything that is intended for you will come to you, my darling. It'll come faster if you release the lack of it not being in your life now and simply enjoy the experience of what you're wanting to happen and why you're wanting it to happen. Then you're willing it towards you. That's how powerful you are. But when we sit in the lack of not having it, then that is the energy we're emitting. It's a little bit like money, darling. You know, we have, as a society across the world, a kind of fear attached to money. You know, we have a fear that we're never going to have enough. We have a fear that we have to pay this, we have to pay that. We have a fear that when we buy something, we shouldn't buy it, and therefore we have a guilt attached to it. Money is simply energy, like you are, like we all are. We're just dense matter. And so it's a very amazing thing to think money is energy. So when we attach a negative attachment to money, we're disempowering ourselves with the money flow that's coming through us all the time. Flow. And so imagine it rather than something that's locked away and you can't get your hands on it. Imagine it as a waterfall always flowing towards you. And as you give money away, take pleasure from that moment of doing it, whether you're buying a coffee or you're buying yourself a pair of shoes or you're spending something more, or even with your mortgage, just say the words which this Japanese billionaire said to express why he was successful with money with himself was arigato, which is gratitude. And as he gave and as he received, he simply said arigato, which means thank you. And in that moment, he allowed this beautiful, never-ending flow and source of money, which is purely energy. So let's move forward for the reading. That was for somebody who needed to hear that at this time. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to use my Muse Tarot now. Thank you. What I wanted to come out for you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So what have we got? 3 cards have come out. We've got the Page of Inspiration, which is the Page of Wands. This is exactly what I've been talking about with this creative expression. The black cat there represents your intuition, your soul's expression, my darling. Pages are transitional times for you. You simply at this moment in time need to focus on what it is you're wishing to create in your life and get enjoyment about being in that space, because it's all as above, down below. It's all multifaceted. It's all created for you. Your soul is creating it in a rhythmical pattern. You know that the word omniverse, I was given that the other day, last week, by God, when I was asking a question about something, and I received the word omniverse. And I looked it up, and I knew it had something to do with universe. And omniverse came in, and my higher self, God, my source energy. And omniverse means every universe, multiverse, parallel universe, realm, everything is in the omniverse. It is all that is. And omni means all that is. And then I looked up verse because I thought that's interesting. Why do we use the word verse in universe or omniverse? And it means, and for some, I asked a few people the question, what did it mean? And it was either a line from a verse from a poem or scripture or a prayer. And it is all of those things. Verse means arranged in a metrical rhythm. And so when we understand that we are a part of all that is, that beautiful creative source energy within us is a piece, a part of all that is, and that we can tap into that at any such time as we choose to do so. And it is always a choice. You listen to this reading, you receive, you resonate, you remember what you've already known. It is then your choice to think, say, and do with that perception in your mind, or to react and do as you've done before. It's always your choice, my darling. This is a whole new time for you to explore, to go where you have, I'm getting that Star Wars thing, you know, and I can't remember, and please tell me in the comments what it is, about when they leave the Starship Enterprise and they use that expression. They're trying to tell me, and maybe it'll come through. But so this is your time to explore, to step out of your comfort zone, to trust that you are willing this towards you. And the more, you know, enlightenment is simply about accepting that you are in this space where you are because you are meant to be in this space. And it's about releasing anything else around you and any resistance about how you are, how you've got here, whether that's attached with anger and resentment or hurt, but actually just accepting that you are exactly where you're meant to be. And there's nothing else that you need to do in this space other than create. And you create through your highest thought, your clearest word, and your greatest experience. And sometimes your greatest experience, my darling, is simply to be. We are human beings, not doing. And if you're not doing enough being, then I urge you to do the being. Because our mind can never make sense of anything. We'll never get the answer from our mind, because it is that judge data, those society-induced fears, society-induced fears, those thoughts, things that we've told ourselves and others have told us. It is only in the being, in the stillness, in the acceptance of the present moment, with no worries for the future, releasing the past, that we are enabling ourselves to receive what our soul is telling us all the time. So that is that Page of Wands. And then you've got the Knight of Cups, which is movement, which is very beautiful. And this is a movement from a source soul energy space. This is the white horse. This is, for me, the divine feminine side of us that leads. Now, there is a fear with you attached to what it is that you're wishing to do. And Spirit is saying, trust that movement forward, as long as you are doing it from your highest thought, your clearest word, and your greatest experience or expression, then all will be exactly as it's meant to be for you. And it is the path of least resistance. And that is your Ace of Voices, the Ace of Swords. It's the Yes card from the universe. She's looking back there. So this takes me back to the vulture, and the vulture said, nothing is wasted. It is only through those experiences. I can speak 1,000 words to you. And if it is not the right time for you to receive those words, then you won't. But that's okay, because you weren't meant to receive it in this time, because you're meant to go through different life experiences in order to receive the clarity at exactly the right time that you're meant to receive it. Those aha moments, those light bulb moments that we receive, they are always divinely timed. They are always gifts of insight and foresight and clarity exactly when we need them. If we receive them too early on, it wouldn't make sense to us. But we have to go through a journey in order to be in exactly the right place to receive that insight, that foresight, those experiences. So whatever it is that you have, whatever journey, my darling, that you have been on in your life, it is to bring you where you are now in this present gifted moment. And I trust to receive that the words that your soul is simply speaking with love through me back to you. That is all this message is. So let's move forward with the reading. And I'm seeing a clothesline there with clothes on it. So, enlightenment, spirituality, growth, transformation, it is an amazing journey. It can be a very, very difficult journey. But as part of that, there's still things to do every day. We still have to put the washing out. We still have to chop wood, pour water is the expression. But funny enough, it's even through those things that we just do almost automatically that we receive the insight, because as we do something automatically without thinking a great deal of it, we're allowing our space to be in the stillness. So if that is a form of meditation for you and you're receiving insight, keep doing it. I mean, I, for one, hate doing washing and ironing, and I tend to not receive things through it. But for me, it's other things. I love to walk in the orchards here. I like to drive as well. I always ask to receive. I say, thank you very much for me receiving what I'm meant to receive in this present moment. And actually, that's where that creative expression came through for me at that time. So let's move ahead with more for you. I'm going to keep using the Muse deck for you for the moment. Thank you, Spirit. What else for Scorpio? What else can they expect in this season? Wow. Ace of Inspiration, Ace of Wands. That's now 2 aces and a page for you on this. And again, thank you, Spirit. Where you are now is because of the experiences and things that you have gone through. You can see here with the cactus flower, with the lotus, there are things that have hurt you in your life. There are things that go right back to the root cause of you. And my darling, if this is something to do with family, I want you to, when you can feel and identify with the pain, or whether this is with a relationship, when you can feel and identify that pain within you, and you cannot blame others for where you are right now, then it's an extraordinary place of enlightenment, because for the most part, most people are recreating generational reactions to things. And if you are the one that's able to stand back and observe that and understand that how they're reacting to things has really got nothing to do with you, although it can be painful, but you release that pain by the acceptance that they are just repeating things that they have been taught, and their parents taught them, and their parents taught them. And actually, you are the one that can literally cut that karmic cycle, that karmic cord, by understanding that this is not personal to you. It may seem some of the actions personal at the time, but it is their reaction, their triggers to their unhealed trauma and pain within them that cause, for the most part, people's behaviors. And with that understanding, you can choose It's always your choice, but you can choose to have understanding, have compassion, and forgive, because forgiveness is the biggest act of self-love and self-empowerment and self-care that you can give yourself, because you are choosing in that moment to step into such enlightenment of saying that this is not, I choose not to receive this. I choose to empower myself in this moment by not bringing that energy into my space, because we are all simply energy. And emotion is energy and motion. Emotion, you've heard me say that before. And your energy, more so than anything else, is the most amazing thing. It is so powerful. And when you use it consciously from a beautiful place of self-love, it is amazing. So protect that energy, cherish it, and grow with it. So let's move forward. And that's this Ace of Wands. And I will say that again. This Ace of Wands is your creative expression of your individual representation of who you are in this present moment on your soul's physical experience. That is your soul speaking to you. Anything creative, anything that just makes you want to focus on it. Even if it's something weird, my darling, if you suddenly get the urge, you were meant to do something and then you suddenly feel you want to do something else, do the something else. That is the next step on your soul's path, and things come in because of it. That's listening to your soul. That's listening to your intuition, an aspect of it. But that creative expression opens up doors for you, doors of opportunity, doors that are waiting to be opened for you. Thank you. I'm going to put down that deck for now. And I'm going to use my Sun and Moon Tarot for you. Thank you, Spirit. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm coming on to that, but I'm going to use the Light Seers because that was staring at me saying, pick me up. Thank you, Spirit. What else for Scorpio at this time? I mean, what a beautiful reading for you, my darling, and you so deserve it. You've got this, the Nine of Wands has come out for you. I love this particular card. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, gorgeous. First of all, on the bottom of the deck, you've got the Queen of Cups. This is a time for you to sit, my darling, and be a human being, less of a doing, more than a being, and receive and know that you are receiving all the time. You just have to choose to listen. As I said, you know, our mind is a bunch of thoughts, and it can't make sense of things, however much we try. It's too conditioned. The data in it is almost too fixed. It's a bit like a rusty old computer. But sit as much as you can in the stillness of the I am, accepting in that moment, this is your life. This is you as a soul having a physical experience, and you are exactly where you're meant to be. I know I keep repeating it, but sometimes in the different forms of the way I say it, it will resonate more with one than another. So sit in that stillness and receive, and simply say, I am, first of all, because I am is stating you're in the present moment, and you're also stating, I am a soul having a physical experience. I am the divine representing itself. I am the divine having an experience through me. So say, I am open and willing to receive whatever it is that is intended for me at this time. I am open and willing to receive all, and I am grateful for all and everything that I am meant to receive. And sit in that space of receiving and knowing that you are deserving and that you are worthy of it. Also sit in your feelings, because God, the omniverse, the universe, talks to you all the time through your feelings. You just have to choose to listen. And there is always an answer there for you at the right time for you. When we sit in our feelings, this is the water here, and we receive, it's about sitting in all the feelings, not just the great feelings. It's about sitting in the space which it makes us feel the most uncomfortable. Because to sit in those feelings with the perspective of the things that I've talked about, then you can start to release the negative feelings, the dis-ease within you. Because again, we are energy, and energy doesn't die, it just goes somewhere. So if you're not letting it out, you're not receiving, if you're not letting out those feelings of dis-ease and replacing it with the understanding and the insight that heals it, then it transmutes into something else, and it can transmute into a physical dis-ease within you. So this is a time for you to release. This is Scorpio season, my darlings. You are amazing at this. So a time for you to sit on the problem, and I'm going to call it a problem, although a problem generally is something that hasn't worked out the way that we want it to work out. And things don't have meaning unless we assign it a meaning. But you've assigned something a meaning. We all do. I've assigned meanings to things and problems to things. So sit in that space and say, thank you. I am open and willing to receive whatever it is I'm intended to receive at this time. And just say thank you, because by saying I am and thank you, it's already happened. You just haven't seen it yet. So, and then you're allowing that energetic flow to happen for you. And you can also say, thank you, God, Omniverse, Universe, for helping me to understand that this problem has already been resolved for me. And then you've got, which appeared just before this, so I know that you've stepped away from certain energies or experiences in your life that you had seen. Let me just show you again. There's that Nine of Wands that had kept you trapped for a time, that you'd felt they kept you trapped because you saw them then from a very different perspective. But now you're seeing them as just something you just need to step over. You've come to the edge of where you were. You're about to step into a new space, a new energy space, and you're aware of it, and you're almost waiting for the go ahead to say yes, go. And you've got this one wand here, and you've gone through repetitive cycles, and they've kind of created that self-imposed barrier within yourself up until now. But now you're seeing them as something much smaller. And actually, you can step over them. They're a smaller obstacle than you thought they were, because you have a new higher self perspective. And look at that look on her face. She knows this is the badger. This is the be fearless and bold. So that is you, my darling. And then what was the other cards that came out? You've got the King of Pentacles here. So this is your soul, this extraordinary soul within you, this ancient wisdom, this loyalty, unconditional love for you, this untapped spiritual knowledge that's just sitting there. And you see your soul is a lot less doing, and it's purely about being. So again, another thing that we have been taught in our lives is that we have to always be doing. We have to be so busy and proactive in order to be successful. But actually, if we are attaching an energy to that of fear and anxiety and worry about how we're going to appear to others, then actually, isn't that just like the money, that we're not allowing the flow of it? And sometimes being fearless and bold is actually taking our hands off the wheel and saying, if this is intended for me, I am open and willing to receive it. And I am not going to get in the way of it. It's about what you want and why you want, and releasing how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen, and not forcing it to happen. Because if something is not happening for you, however much you're forcing it to happen, then trust that it is not your soul's intent that it happens for you. Maybe not forever, but maybe not at this time, because you're not in the right space to receive it. And there are other things that you need to do. Equally, it could be that, plus that there are other amazing opportunities there for you for the next greatest, grandest version of who you are. And your soul knows that and is content in that space of knowing. There's no worry, there's no anxiety there. And I want to show you something that's beautiful. Your soul is looking at you right now with so much love, so much unconditional love, so much pride in you, so much knowing how far you've come. And that's the other thing, that if doors are closing to you, don't be surprised if they're closing, because the energy space that you've come into has closed those doors on things that you thought you wanted, but actually your soul's, your vibration is changing so much that actually don't be surprised if things that come in that match your vibration now are on their way to you, and the doors remain closed of what was who you were before. And there will if you feel that feeling and you can look at that and think, well, it's almost foreign to me now. It is foreign. Those feelings are foreign to you now because you have changed, you've evolved, you've raised your vibration, and the universe responds to that all the time. So this is why Spirit is saying, be fearless and bold, and maybe take your hands off the wheel and allow it to happen. That's why I am ready is so powerful. I'm ready and open, willing to receive, because you allow the universe to literally, you know, as I went into the kitchen just now, and I know I meant to say this, I heard the beautiful Chariots of Fire music. And it's like you're on fire, and this chariot of fire, and it's coming straight down this path of least resistance towards you. Fire, wands, manifestations, chariots, the universe coming down. And the chariots of fire is on the beach, and the beach is about the cycles of life. And there's nothing on this beach. It's beautiful. So that was a message for you. And I don't know if it's a particular message for somebody. And you've got the Knight of Wands here. This is now a time for you to beat the rhythm of your own drum, the omniverse. What is that? It's the metrical rhythm. Okay, it's arranged in a metrical rhythm. This is time for you to beat your own rhythm, my darling, and to do what you are meant to do in order for your soul's manifestations to come into the 3D, from the 5D to the 3D, but the trust that if you feel that you're trying to control something and you're not going with the beautiful natural flow and you're not having fun with it, and it's becoming something that's anything other than exciting and happy and joyous, then take your hands off the wheel and stop and just say, I'm open and ready and willing to receive whatever it is that's meant to be coming in for me. That's the Knight of Wands, because there is things that are starting to happen for you. You're starting to see it now in the 3D from the 5D. It has been growing quietly, the seeds in the dark. You know, the sun nurtures, everything grows in the dark, and the self-healing that you've done, just like the sun with these seeds, has allowed the inner healing, the inner growth, the inner transformation, has allowed these seeds of manifestations to start to appear for you. So that is beautiful. And now I'm seeing the star card at the bottom of the deck. You are so connected right now. It's so beautiful. And you feel it and you know it, and you have an excitement, and you are much more in that space of being. And this is just a message for you to continue to trust. You have nothing to fear but fear itself. Flip that fear into feeling excited and ready. And only you can choose to do that for yourself. It is always a choice every day, how you intend to have your day. Do you choose to be happy? Do you choose to see as much joy in the day as possible? Do you choose to be sad? It is your choice. It is not how the day works out for you, because that's saying, well, I'm letting my reality create my consciousness, as opposed to my consciousness creating my reality. It's about waking up in the morning and saying, today I'm going to have an amazing day. Thank you, Spirit. And even if things happen to you, to look at them and say, well, either that's Spirit's sense of humor, or it was just me having remnants of some energy attached to me, or a bit of doubt in my mind that caused that to happen. Intend to have an amazing day. Say, thank you, Spirit, for my surprise and delight today. Thank you for having an amazing day. Thank you. That is your decision. Only you have control about how you feel about things. Nobody else has that power and that control over you. It is your choice. It is your free will. So that is the star card, and it is a promise that as you're releasing things and letting things going and entirely focused on your soul's your connection to soul, to source energy, that as you focus on your evolution, as you focus on your creative expression, as you focus on releasing and letting things go, you're allowing it to come in. This is your hopes and blessings coming in for you. I am drawn to, now I'm drawn to my Sun and Moon deck. It's almost like a little trumpet announcement, wasn't it? Like there's something about to happen and come in for you. Thank you, Spirit. I'm just looking at the bottom of that Muse Tarot deck, the Queen of Voices. I just want to raise this because it's just got my attention. This is the Queen of Swords. Don't be too black and white about things. Remembering that everything's happening for you, not to you. aware that people have a tendency to react from their own conditioned lens of life and how they feel about things, that it's nothing personal. The Queen of Swords is somebody who has begun to know those inner secrets within herself. She's begun to really trust in herself. She's come into a place of being. That's a queen. She speaks her truth. She does it for her greatest good and for the good of others. I am whoever God wishes for me to be in this present moment for the greatest good of myself and others. That is my prayer to myself, my mantra to myself. And maybe that is for any of you that received that in that moment. So with the Queen of Swords, she is aware of all the answers that are within. And thank you, Spirit. And being a Queen of Swords and being about communication, it is not how the message is received is her priority, is her focus. It is a consideration, but it's not a responsibility, and it's not the reason for her speaking her truth. In speaking your truth, the gift is to yourself, because as you speak your truth, you receive the insight and the clarity, and you know it as the words come through you. It is your soul speaking through you, so you receive it, your mind receives it. So when you are using your words, always use your highest words wherever possible, your clearest words. You can say thank you for the words. And as you say that, you allow your mind to quieten and your soul to come through. And you will speak from your higher self. Thank you for the words I need today. Thank you. Thank you for the clearest message. But it is not, again, how the message is received is more than a consideration for you. Because if it is meant to be received by that person in that particular time, it will be, if that is their soul's intent. If it is not meant to be received, it may be a seed that grows within them. It may never be, but it is for you, because everything you are doing, every person, people, place, event, experience is for your soul's evolution. My readings are for you, but they are for my soul's evolution too, because as I speak to you, I also receive. This is that next greatest, grandest version of who I am. Going live on next Sunday is that next greatest, grandest version of I am. So when you do that, it becomes an experience where you are receiving the whole time. And when you're aware you're receiving all the time, that is a form of self-love as well, because you are putting yourself in a place of I am. And it's important that I understand that I am receiving as well. I'm not forgotten in all of this. So that is your Queen of Swords there, and that those negative experiences, those darker times that you've been through, the crows are the master of secrets. They can also represent negative energies. All of that has brought you to where you are today. So one of the most transformative things is to be grateful for absolutely everything that's happened in your life, because it's happened for a reason, to bring you where you are here today. And in this moment, whatever you're thinking, saying, and doing now is going to take you, going to place into the future. And what you are doing right now, my darling, you keep doing it. Be fearless, be bold. So I meant to do that, but I meant to do that little bit there for you. Right, Sun and Moon Tarot. Thank you, Spirit, for my darling Scorpios. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. 8 of Wands. And on the bottom of the deck, the 10 of Pentacles. Look at that lovely little 8 of Wands there. So the 8 of Wands is about the energy you're projecting forward now, what you're thinking, saying, and doing now, you're placing into your future. This is about people that are around you as well. When you have soul family and soul tribe who you are aware of, who are there, who are subconsciously or consciously creating this with you as well. Energy is even more powerful than it's more than just the one. When it's in a group, you know how they do the mass group meditations, and wherever they've done that mass group meditation, the crime rate lowers. I think it's about 20%, or it could be a little bit less than that, but it's all making us all appreciate how powerful energy is. And that's why it's very important that you protect it and you cherish it and you guard it. So the 8 of Wands is simply on you doing what it is that you are really good at doing and enjoy, whatever it is that is your gift. Okay. And looking forward all the time, not back, looking forward, because you do not want to bring in, you've released all that, you've had the star card. It's not a part of who you are. It's not the story of who you are anymore. There may be some remnants, but you're starting to look at them as sort of foreign things now within you. This is about your focus on moving that energy forward now. Forward, forward. What are you placing into your future now? Because you're causing and creating it all the time. And it's bringing you to the beautiful Ten of Pentacles. And if this is for you, the Ten of Pentacles is the sum of all your abundances. It's the, it could be about a job, a career, it could be to do with a relationship, but it's bringing you to this place of this Ten of Pentacles. But you know, when it's a little bit like people retiring, thinking, well, I'm going to save and save and save and save, and then I'm going to get to my retirement, enjoy myself, and most of them are burnt out. So it's not really about where you're going with this Ten of Pentacles. It's about this whole experience of this journey leading up to it. You know, you don't go to the opera or to a play to watch the finale or to listen to the last bit. You go to experience the whole thing. And this is what this experience, your life's evolution, is all about. And wherever you're coming to with this, it is a place, as this Ten of Pentacles, where the more you can appreciate and be grateful for everything you've received now, the more you're going to receive it all the way through this journey. So by the time, because you're at peace now. So when you feel you're going to be at peace, when you get there, you're not going to get there. It's about bringing yourself into this present moment now and accepting you are where you are right now and feeling that peace and appreciating everything you have around you now and knowing that it's come in for you for a reason. And that's going to bring you to this beautiful Ten of Pentacles, very grounded space here. And I do see a relationship here for whoever this is resonating with, or it's that partnership, it's that connection. And it's about being part of everything. So this could be, you know, a relationship that's a romantic relationship or some soul family relationship, whatever it is, whatever that means for you. It says wealth here, but wealth can be financial, giving, receiving, arigato. It can also be about how you feel about things, because the poorest person can feel the greatest joy because it is within you that is the source of everything. Money does not bring happiness, but the feeling within you, because you are the center of your whole universe, and what you feel about yourself will affect your reality. So your consciousness creates your reality. So that's why this journey is so important. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Tell me more about this Ten of Pentacles. So you've got Temperance. I hear you groan, but Temperance is really just to say to you, let this happen in divine timing. Everything is being like a spider's web. You're weaving it all together. You're weaving together your desires, your life path. It's all working its way. It's all being created at this time, as above, down below. The universe has said yes. And it has to be done sometimes in conjunction with other souls as well. So don't interfere in that. Just be at peace and the understanding that it's happened. It's already happened. You just have not seen it yet. And this is Spirit just saying, remain balanced in the yin and the yang. Let your soul, let your creative expression lead you, and do what you need to do. The yin and the yang, do what you need to do from a place that feels excited and happy and joyous and enjoys doing it. And that is allowing, the Temperance is allowing Spirit, the universe, to bring everything through to you through the path of least resistance. So let's see what else they want to come out for you today. Thank you. Five of Swords has wanted to be left behind. So with the Five of Swords, whatever it is that you have been through with this Star card, where was it? There, the Star card there. You don't get the Star card unless you've suddenly stopped. Unless you've suddenly stopped reacting and started renewing. It's less you've gone through a healing process, and healing only happens because you're allowing it to happen. You are stepping back, observing, acknowledging, releasing, letting go. Otherwise, you just keep repeating over and over again because you're choosing not to listen to your feelings. You're choosing to transfer and blame others and say it's their fault that I feel this way. But the star card says, for me, my darling Scorpions, that you have done so much inner work. And so with this 5 of Swords, the message for me here with this particular card, which I think is so beautiful, because I glanced down and saw the 2 of Swords before I did this, was the 3 swords there represent for me the place where you were. Do you see pinned down with the injustice of it, the grief of it, the sadness of it? You couldn't move. You couldn't move for the feelings that you had at the time with this heartache and this trauma that you went through. And that is as it should be so, because you had to go through that in order to have that impact, in order to come to where you are today. And the weight of your sadness has transformed itself now into this beautiful coming into who you are right now. You are a beautiful representation of your soul's physical experience, but you had to have the weight of the sadness to help you transform. And now your truth and your clarity, your foresight, those 2 swords there that you're holding, is allowing you to move away from that and to wipe it down, to get rid of it. It's almost like she's about to hit those 3 swords and release it all. So move forward now. You are not trapped by where you were before. And sometimes when we feel such a connection to something or someone, we have a response to it, and it becomes an habitual response, that we get so used to feeling that we continue to feel it without actually stopping to question whether, is that really how I'm feeling now, or is this just my mind conditioning the repetition over and over again? So I feel that you're at that space where you're starting to question whether the residue feelings there within you are something that is a habit or something that still needs releasing. So that's only you can answer that for yourself. Thank you, Spirit. What else do you have that wants to come out? Thank you for Scorpio. Princess of Swords. This is the Page of Swords. Oh my goodness, what a lovely, this is another transition. This is a time of exploration, a time of discovery for you. You've got the little butterfly here. This is this transformational time. You've gone through the sludge, you've gone through the darker period. You're feeling much lighter, much more brighter. You have a sense of relief. You know now, you are so aware. You are observant, you are understanding, you are receiving, you are believing, and you are seeing, not seeing and believing. You're believing and you're seeing things. And it feels so much better, doesn't it? So now see this as a time of, this is an exploratory time for you. This is a time for great insight. It's also a time for great focus, but focusing when your energy feels right, when you really want to do it. Don't do something if you don't have to. Don't do something if you're not feeling it. Sorry, I was nodding away and my computer was nodding there with me. Don't do something unless you absolutely have to do it. Don't do it unless you really feel like you want to do it. I am going to finish with which one's this? My Sacred Traveler deck for you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So vast vistas, expand your horizons. Maybe this is travel for some of you, that, you know, you're moving, you're looking to move. This is about also stepping out of your comfort zone, because change is good, my darling. Change is the godding process. Change is the process. It's the evolutionary process, and evolution never moves forward, never moves backwards. It always moves forward. So this is a change for you. So vast vistas, you are your own universe. Whatever you wish to intend to happen, you can cause and create it to happen. So expand your horizons, vast vistas, expand your horizons, believe it. You know, no scientist can quantify who we are as a human being, because we are unquantifiable. We are it's unlimitless. So it's limitless. So just focus on, and where's that card? Staying focused, hold the course. Focus on however far it might seem away from you, focus on it, how you feel about it, why you want it, what you want and why you want it, and just release a lot of how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen. And I come back to that beautiful Anthony Hopkins quote, believe, believe, believe. And if you can't quite believe, play the game of belief. That is sheer power. Act as if it has already happened, because it has. You just haven't seen it yet. And if you act as if it's happened, then you are allowing the flow of it to happen. You're willing it towards you. So maybe there is travel. You've been in a place where you have been secluded, protected in a box, literally like a sort of energy box. You've been very protected. You've had a period of solitude, which is time for you to heal and get to know who you are and your higher self, and be still in the silence and start to receive. And now it's time, Spirit saying it's time for you to step forward, be bold, be courageous, be fearless at this time. And passion and pleasure, savor your life. So this is about releasing any impatience, wanting it to happen now. Why hasn't it happened yet? Why was there that problem? With the understanding, being grateful for absolutely everything, savor everything. Every experience of learning is an opportunity. Every problem or blockage you may feel is a chance to release and let go. It's an opportunity that's being given to you. Savor every moment where you're very aware that you consciously manifested something. This life is temporary. This is the little gypsy thing here. Be fearless, be bold, have fun, do what you wish to do, however different you may feel. Do things that make you laugh out loud. Do things that fill your heart and your soul with joy. Passion and pleasure, that is your creative expression. Now, I'll say it again, your creative expression is an individual representation. You're representing yourself in this present moment as your soul is having a physical experience. Do listen to the inner calling of your soul, my darling, and you are going through a transformation. A fresh new way of living emerges, like the phoenix rising up from the ashes. The fire comes in to clear out the old and bring in the new, and it is only when that happens that the seeds come up, that the new growth emerges. So, and it removes what was needed to be let go of before. So this is a beautiful, beautiful, transformative time for you, my darling. Be fearless, be bold, and listen to your creative expression. Take care, my darlings. Look forward to doing a reading for you again soon. Lots of love. Bye-bye.